Forget talk of marriage vows, think of the coalition as a quick-drying varnish. As David Cameron and Nick Clegg gave the government's mid-term report, gone was the knockabout humour of the Cameron-Clegg Rose Garden love-in of 2010. Instead, we were told they're just doing what it says on the tin. But the Labour leader Ed Miliband said the report was all empty promises, no real substance and no real detail. Here's our political editor, Gary Gibbon.
We are married, not to each other. We are both happily married, and, you know, this is a government, not a relationship.
They're forever seen locked in step, matching suits and smiles. But today, the coalition tried to kill the marriage metaphor and remind voters that this was a 5-year political arrangement to address serious problems, nothing more or less.
To me, it's not a marriage. It is, if you like, it's a Ronseal deal. It does what it says on the tin. We said we would come together. We said we'd form a government. We said we'd tackle these big problems. We said we'd get on with it in a mature and sensible way. And that is exactly what we've done. 2.5 years in, we haven't chosen to separate and do something different. We've chosen to continue, just as we said, with a 5-year government to tackle these deep-seated problems.
At the top of the coalition on both sides, there's an acknowledgement that they got the tone a little bit wrong when the coalition was set up. They wanted to reassure people that it really could work. They ended up convincing some it all looked a bit too cosy. Today, and this document was all about trying to show it as a business-like relationship. Two leaders rolling up their sleeves to get involved in dirty work that they say Labour wouldn't touch.
We will act to provide better childcare. We will act to provide a single-tier pension. We will act to make social care more affordable. We will act to get more investment in our transport infrastructure. We will act to help people with their mortgages and build more homes for them to live in.
None of those promised announcements was fleshed out today. Some are being held back to be unveiled week by week. Some, like how to shoehorn more private money into transport links, aren't cooked. Labour said the whole thing was an empty stunt.
The problem is that if you're a young person looking for work, if you're a family whose living standards are being squeezed, if you're a small business that's looking for a loan, today's relaunch changes nothing. And actually what people need in tough times is a government on their side, fighting their corner, not a government that promised change and has actually made things worse, not better. That's the problem with today's relaunch.
There was a reminder of the scratchier side of coalition relations when the Tory leader of the Lords, Lord Strathclyde, resigned from the cabinet.
I'm very sad indeed.
He said he was going to resume his business career, but he's complained to friends in recent months that the coalition is broken in the House of Lords, where Lib Dem peers repeatedly helped to defeat government measures. They said the central mission of the coalition was bringing results, the deficit down by 1/4. But that was the target Labour set itself, and which George Osborne had said was recklessly complacent. David Cameron's pollsters tell him only economic growth can bring electoral victory.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Back to work.
And the mid-term review of achievements couldn't be confident it'll get that.